kind of been slacking off on doing my videos. This is more of a documentation video. But it's not one for David Ray, Judas, the backstabbing Judas anymore. Well, not this one anyway. Basically, I gave Sophie her walking papers. So I was like, who was the last one in the bathroom in Kaplinger? Oh yeah, I found out that somebody left a big turd in there and didn't flush the toilet either. So anyway, the doorknob fell off, and instead of even bothering to look to see what was wrong with it, they just put it aside. It was like, well, not my problem, I'll let Kano fix it. You know, it's like she doesn't have business partner mentality. She has Section 8 renter mentality. She doesn't take very good care of my property. They leave food on the floor, you know, cooked food that spilled on the floor. They just left it. They didn't clean up after themselves. The litter box hasn't been changed or dumped in 2 months or more. I can't even count now. It was at least December, at least. Since we had, and I think it was before that even, since we had cats inside the Kaplinger building. I have to go back and check to see when I brought Pivot over to the land. But there was 2 kittens over there after Pivot came to the land, and they only lived a week after that. And then they wanted Pivot back, and I'm like, nah, I think Pivot's gonna stay on the land. So, Squeakers is the only one over there, and he stays outside. I mean, he wants to go inside right now because of the heater. But other than that, he stays outside. And I'm sure he's been hanging out in the bathroom since they left the door open. I'm sure he's been hanging out in the bathroom by the heater. You know, which is fine. But I don't want to be heating the outside. You know, if I had like a cat door on there, that'd be different. And maybe I should put one on there. You know, I got these automatic chicken doors. I can get an automatic cat door and give him a collar that's got like an electric or like an RFID chip in it that'll open or release the automatic door so he can go in and out. And I might do that for the bathroom as long as he don't poop in it. But unless he learns how to use the toilet, then I'd be like, alright, cool, you can use the toilet. But I actually used to have a cat that used to use the toilet. But, you know, I'd rather them go outside. I mean, I wouldn't mind if you went in the toilet, but I don't like litter boxes. You know, I don't like changing them, just like everybody else don't like changing them. But I'm gonna, if I got one, I'm not gonna just leave it there to stink up the building or the house or whatever the case may be. I got a cop up ahead. I don't have my Google Maps up and running, so I can't mark him, actually. That's the nail that I used to use to hold the door closed before I fixed the door. And then I put that on too so we can lock it up. That's the one they used to have on before. So this is one of those old doorknobs, right? All I had was a nut and bolt holding the knobs onto the rod that went through the door. So the doorknob, she just set it by the door inside. And I don't know if you can see it in the last video or not, because I walked by it probably too fast. But after I did the video, I was looking on the floor for the nut and bolt. Turned out there they were. She didn't even bother looking on the floor for the nut and bolt to put the doorknob back together. She was like, "Ah, not my problem. I'll just leave it for Kano to fix." And then complain that I can't shut the door properly, or I can't open the door properly from the outside. I mean the inside. It's like, well, maybe if you were smart enough to put a nut and bolt in the doorknob, then you wouldn't have any problems. I mean, it was so simple. So simple. It's just a nut and a bolt. So I looked on the floor, boom, there was the nut behind the door, and there was the bolt in the crack in the floor. And so I picked them up, put everything back together, put the nut and bolt on, and it's done. Plain and simple. I might do a video on that later. But it was so easy that a 3-year-old could do it. So yeah, this is what I came home to. The door basically wide open, heating the outside. And they didn't flush the toilet. They left a big turd in the toilet. Luckily, it flushed when I went to flush it. But the room, well, if they would have shut the door, then the room would have stunk like high hell. Because they didn't flush. Squeakers looks a lot like this Fluffy Butt cat, except he's older. So I might start calling him Fluffy Butt. So this was Sunday, February 5th. truck broke down on the side up here. Nope, he's coming out. I gotta move over and get out of the way. So I said, good thing I came over first thing to check on things and use the bathroom. The door was left open. The light was left on, which that's not a big deal. It's just, well, I mean, it is a big deal because it's burning electricity that I gotta pay for and I'm not using. And we have been heating the outside for the whole time you were gone. That, and the front door wasn't latched either. So same problem there. There's a nail outside on the front door you could have used to secure the door. That's what I was using originally. Yeah, she's not even smart enough to do that. And whoever used the toilet last didn't flush. So the bathroom would have stunk more if they didn't leave the door wide open. And the heater in the building was turned up on full blast again. And she didn't answer. I don't remember how much time I gave her to answer, but I says, you know what? This phone doesn't give timestamps like my old phone used to. Say, you know what? This isn't working. I think you guys need to find somewhere else to live, which she's been looking anyway. But I'm just wanting to nip this in the bud. Or go back to Arkansas with your parents. I can't do this anymore. She says, okay. I thought I locked the door and I turned up the heat by the well because last time I tried to use it, it didn't run. Okay, that's cool. I understand that. Alright. I can't say anything about the kid's behavior. I try. She doesn't really try. She just pretends or acts like she's trying, but she doesn't actually try. She barks orders and then that's it. I got traffic. I'll come up on another scale. This one is the Michigan scale. So I'm not going to put you out in the winter, but by spring we need to have you need to. Okay, I got the green light.
1.1 miles.
You need to have figured out where you're going. I don't want another David Ray situation. I'd like to part as friends, but we are not being productive or proactive. So we need to do something else. Alright, And now that I'm in Michigan, I can speed up a little bit. Michigan's not as communist as Indiana. There's a douchebag with his high beams on. Fucking asshole. I hate these dumbasses who drive around with their high beams on. Especially truck drivers, because you know they know better. Supposed to be a professional truck driver. Anyways, idiots. I'm surrounded by idiots. She says, it's fine, I understand. I am trying to move, but feel stuck with the situation with the juvenile delinquency. I can probably transfer it. Yeah, our son just got in trouble and now is in juvie something or other. I don't know the details. Not my problem. You know, she's not my girlfriend. She's obviously not a very good business partner. She doesn't care about my property, my assets. She doesn't even take care of her own assets, let alone mine. So, you know, it's like, you know, your problem, my stuff is not your concern, so I guess your stuff is not really my concern. You know, before I tried to care, or I did care, I still kind of care. But I mean, before I was more sympathetic and I didn't really want to be a father figure to her kids, especially since she's not my girlfriend and they're not my kids. But, you know, I don't mind being a role model. But, you know, if they're not going to respect me or my property, then I'm not going to have anything to do with them. You know? So, and personally, I think she needs to go back to Arkansas because, and try to figure out how to get along with her dad. Because her dad's cool. I don't know why she picks fights with him. But her kids have said that she picks fights with her dad. And then I was like, and then afterwards she blames it on the patriarchy. So they're like, exactly. So, you know, she's got this feminist bullcrap in her head. She thinks that all men are trying to suppress her, when really we're just trying to help her. And, you know, I'm sure her dad's not trying to suppress her. I'm sure he's trying to help. But she wants to fight with him because he doesn't agree with her. Or maybe because she wants him to do all the work, you know. And then she blames him because she's unsuccessful. It's like, why is he going to do all your work? You know, it's not his job. But anyways, the one that's having the juvie problems, if you will, really likes her dad, his grandpa, really looks up to him and goes out of his way to help him when they're down there on their farm. And that's another thing. I thought she was you know, I saw how her parents were, and they always say look at the parents to see what the children are going to be like. And so I thought, okay, well, their parents are productive and proactive. Maybe she is too, like she says she is. No, I don't know what her problem is. But anyways, so, yeah, I think she needs to go back home and learn how to get along with her dad. They got 60 acres. She can be at one side of the property and do whatever the hell she wants to do. won't be under his thumb. She says she don't want to be under his thumb. It's like, well, then don't live right next to his house where she was living. You know? Live on the other side of the property. But I don't know. So, but the kids say that it's her fault that they're not that her and her dad don't get along, and I think I believe them. So anyway, so Tuesday. Hang on. I got this truck that's speeding up and slowing down. Speeding up and slowing down. I hate when people do that. I said, not sure if you're home yet, but I took care of your animals last 2 days. I gotta run to get cat food this morning.
Truck stop and service.
Then I'm taking off.
5 miles.
Let me know if you're back or if I need to swing by Kaplinger and water the rabbits one last time before I go. She never responded, so at 11 o'clock I was like, I see you're not back yet. I dropped off your mail, fed and watered the animals. Heading back to work, be back in a week. So, yeah, I went ahead and fed and watered all the animals. I even took some of my grain. To the chickens because they didn't have any. She only gave them slop. She didn't even give them water. She said, okay, the kids are sick, so I stayed. Also, I contacted John last night, haven't heard back. I said, not sure how long you've had the chickens, 2 or 3 weeks. After about 4 weeks, you can start letting them out to scratch. I gave them some of my feed from the land and some water. They didn't have any water. They need water. Yeah, I mean, they can't survive on slop alone. They need water. When I first gave them water, it was like they made a beeline for it and drank half of it. Now, that was in a video. They had water, so I think I had given them water last week before I left. I don't remember. But in the last video, they had water. So, or so it appeared that they had water. I have to go back and look. But anyways, yeah, I don't remember when I gave them the water, but they hadn't been giving them water. And I noticed they didn't have any water, so I gave them water. And then they didn't have any grain, so I gave them grain. Now, I'm sure they can survive on the slop and water, but I think it's still important to give them some grain. I'm not sure, but that's my opinion. So this is my response to what she said earlier. That's fine, I understand. I'm trying to move, but I feel stuck with the situation with the juvenile delinquency, but I might be able to transfer it. Now, I wasn't actually going to send this till next week. I forgot that I programmed it to send the next day, but I had it in my color notes and I was editing it, and I was working on it, and I was going to send it next week or the week after Valentine's Day or whatever. But I accidentally sent it, so I was like, fuck it, let's roll with it. You know, she's got kids. It wouldn't be good to put them out in the middle of the school year and make them go back to Arkansas. So I said, I can give you till the end of the school year. Whoop. Alright, you know, I'm gonna slow down. Everybody seems to be doing the same speed I'm doing. I'll just speed up. Get behind these guys. I had that stupid four-wheeler next to me. They were speeding up and slowing down all the time too. I had a truck behind me trying to pass, wanting to go around. Of course, he could have went around on the left, but this ain't Indiana. We can pass on the left here. Anyway, so I can give you till the end of the school year, but things have got to change. Less just talking about doing stuff and more actually doing stuff. Yeah, she's all talking, no action, just like David Ray. She wants me to do everything for her. Because she's a woman. You know? It's like her camper leaks and she's got a tarp, and I told her to put the tarp on there. She's like making excuses like, I can't do it. I'm a girl. I thought she was fucking capable of doing anything a man can do because you're a feminist. You know? But she acts like she's all like capable, a go-getter, proactive, productive person. But then, in the beginning. But now she acts like she wants me to do everything for her. Well, she just sits on her butt and does nothing. It's like, listen, woman, I'm not your husband. I'm not your boyfriend. It's supposed to be a business partnership type arrangement. And you're not doing anything. You're not cutting the mustard at all. So you can't even put a tarp on your camper to keep your camper from leaking. That's not my job. You know, my job is not to take care of you. My job is to take care of the business that we were supposed to be doing together. And you're supposed to be meeting me halfway. And you're not. So I'm just taking care of me and my property. I say you've not been fulfilling your end of the agreement. So I'm gonna need rent. And you will have to pay 100% of the electric. I've already been paying more than my share. Trying to give you the opportunity to get back on your feet. I think 6 months is plenty of time. That's true. Here we go, back where I was, trying to pass these guys. And then this four-wheeler speeds up and sits right next to me. And I got another big truck behind me trying to pass, but he won't pass on the left. We got 3 lanes here, people. 3 lanes. That's right, these 2 guys that were speeding up and slowing down earlier passed me, so I'm just gonna let them be my front door. You and the kids need to take better care of and have more respect for my property. No more excuses. Your kids are your responsibility. Like I used to tell my kids, their friends are their responsibility while at our house. Telling me you're not responsible for your kids' actions is unacceptable. I went out of my way to make that place comfortable as possible for you, the kids, and the animals. And I don't think you guys appreciate that. I don't have a problem with you delegating responsibilities to the kids, but you don't go behind them, but you need to go behind them and make sure it gets done. You don't double check them, and so they blow you and me off. I've been asking you guys to do something about the litter boxes for the last 2 months, and you blew me off. Things need to change, or you just need to go somewhere else. In 1 month, I plan to start working on the foam or sawdust crete in Kaplinger. So everything in the Kaplinger building needs to come out so that I can work in there. Soon as the blackberry patch and the greenhouse are ready for spring, which I'm getting close to being done with that, I'll be focusing more on Kaplinger and moving all of my stuff out so I can get stuff done over there. Teamwork makes the dream work. I need a solid team so that we can achieve the dream. She's not been, doing her part. There's no I in team, and she seems to think there is. She says, I agree, it's fine. I've felt it for a while and I plan to help still. Yeah, she ain't been doing shit. All she does is sit on her butt, complain or talk about doing stuff, but never actually does anything. Just make excuses.
Truck stop and service, 2.5 miles.
I've already talked to Johnny, the guy she's seeing, about using the pressure washer and the paint sprayer for Kaplinger. I'm trying to figure out what to do with all my stuff if I move into a traditional apartment. Well, all of her stuff will fit in a traditional apartment except for her animals and her camper. So I need to work on the rental agreement, just in case she's still there at the end of the month. Because I'm going to implement it at the beginning of next month. So I said, I didn't mean to send that yet. I was going to change it to 80% since I used 10 to 20% of the electric. And she said, okay. But yeah,
Truck stop and service,
I've been
2.5
paying
miles.
50% of the electric, even though I only use maybe 10 or 20% of it. So, yeah. And then she always tries to find an excuse why it's not her responsibility to pay the electric. And it's like, what? You live there. You guys are using the electric, all the utilities, and you're trying to figure out how to blame me why the electric bill's so high. And I'm not even there. I'm out here on the road driving truck. So that pissed me off. But I kept my cool. And yeah. So now I'm just nipping everything in the bud. So, yeah. I'm not doing 50% anymore. I'm only doing 20. Tops. Because that's what I'd be paying if she wasn't there. You know? I got the administration fee, and then I got what I would use. So that's about 10 to 20%. The electric bill before she moved in was like $30 a month. Now it's like $200, $250. It's like, we got a problem. And then she wants to try to get out of paying her portion. I'm not even her portion, only 50%. It's like, nah, I don't think so. So, yeah. So tonight, I need to stop and work on that rental agreement. Or if this customer unloads where I'm delivering in about 4 hours,
Truck stop in service. 0.1 miles.
if they do the unload, then maybe I'll have time. If I'm not too tired and I don't go back to bed, maybe I'll have time to work on the rental agreement. I already have one that I used before, so I can go through and edit that and use that. But anyways, I guess that's that.